2 weeks in a row. Everyone gives up on the podcast.
The dog days of the podcast season, Pete. We're dropping like flies. We can't get full commitment out of anyone but you.
Yeah, my 135 straight episode podcast streak is still alive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Entering Milford Season 5, Episode 135. I'm your host, Pete DeLuca. Hopefully somebody else is going to be joining us soon. Otherwise, it's going to be me and Casey, and we are at the bottom of the standings. Again, 2 people not qualified. If the trend stays the same, you will score 76 points this week.
Oh, no. I have a feeling my team's back.
You look extra hairy these days. What's going on?
I got to a point where it was just shaggy, and then it got to a point where I got to either clean it up or shave it, and I decided to just clean it up a little bit. So we'll see how long.
How do you do your neck? Honestly, my neck is the reason I shaved my whole beard.
I don't put a blade. It's just the clippers. So it's just the zero whenever I feel like
this. I can't do it.
No, I just kind of go up and just do my own line. I don't even know if it's straight or not. I couldn't tell you.
Good for you. That's confidence. I shaved my beard. And it's sad because, when you go around to people, they just say, "Hey, you shaved your beard," but there's no follow up, so you can tell that it's not a well received.
It's not a good icebreaker.
Yeah. The word I had a beard for like a half a year straight. I shaved it. Not one person said a word to me. You can tell I was like, yeah, I know, I look fat. All right, stop. You okay?
Well, no, I was gonna say it's actually funny because I thought about this. I think it was 2 weeks ago we were all 4 on it. Like all 4 of us had beards on the podcast.
It's a very bearded podcast.
Yeah, it's
I work with 2 guys that have beards. No.
Does anyone else in the league have one?
I don't think so.
Breen can't grow one.
Breen can't grow facial hair at all, huh? I don't think Ennis can either. He seems like a non-facial hair type of guy. He may be a goatee type.
Ennis is a good neck beard guy.
Neck beard. I'm telling you, neck beards are awful, man. It is scratchy.
Yeah.
All right, you want to talk about what was the week? Week 9?
Football, huh?
Let's talk about football. Week 9. We can talk about Coast Guard baseball. Is that going good? Good off season so far? Rate the off season. Give me a letter grade.
Fall's done. Post fall off season stuff now. So
B+. Okay, I'll go B+.
Yeah, we'll give it a B+. It was all right.
There you go. You're doing better than the government. Week 9.
Part of the government.
Yeah. Week 9.
I'm still getting paid.
Yeah, you're still hanging on. Day 36. All right. Boom of the week goes to Dan Larkin, 197.89. Wow, Dan. This is Dan's top score of the year. It is the second highest score of the year, and it is his 3rd boom of the season and his 7th all time. Dan really crushing it here. He moves into a tie with CJ for 5th all time on the boom list. Casey, I reached out to Dan Larkin after sent him his 3rd boom in the last 4 weeks, and he's not responded once. So I reached out to him and I said, I have some questions. I said, 1, can you confirm that you're getting the Venmos? And he fired back with, yes. Can you confirm that Casey has received his? Which I thought was a shot at you for no reason.
he has. I think it dates back to the Red Room and when we were 9th and 10th place, and we sort of just on each other since that time. Because I've even texted him offline, complimenting him, hey, listen to the pod. I'm the only one pulling for you right now. And then the next thing you know, he's in the group chat and he'll take a shot at me. So I think it's just the vendetta that he has.
It's just the Red Room just.
He can only catch me in spades if he wins his first championship or tied for last. So he just wants to get out of the basement.
Oh, Dan moves into a tie with CJ for 5th all time. Did I say that? I don't know. Anyway, when it gets to the top 4 in the booms, it starts to get serious. Which, believe it or not, I am 4th. Which I cannot believe I used to boom.
When's the last time you boomed? Can you remember?
Last year. I think I got a boom last year, believe it or not. In a very down season, I had one. But anyway, CJ, Lloyd making a climb towards the big guys. Beast of the week goes to, do you know? No. Did you Google this stuff the other week when you had all the answers dead on? That bothered me.
The only thing I got dead on was the projected score. I just guessed something in the 130s, and you guys like, oh, you look at his calculator.
It's not hard. You just add multiply by 10. Brock Bowers had 48.92, almost 49.
Should have known that.
It's the second time that Darian started a top performer of the week. So good for him. Bowers tops neighbors 47-point performance from week 2. So Brock Bowers 48 points, highest point of the highest performance of the year. What do you feel about that, Case?
I was watching that game. I actually, I think I sent CGD a text and a GIF about the matchup being over, and the next thing you know, that game's going to overtime, and Brock catches another touchdown. It got a lot closer than it probably should have been. So,
Jesus Christ, you're jumping ahead here. Jesus,
had to take my shot.
Seeing a performance like that, does that make you more confident that you would start a tight end in the future?
Yeah, I start tight ends already.
You don't believe in the stigma of tight ends? Like a lot of people are anti-tight ends.
No, I mean, I think it's certainly a weaker position. It's definitely not as deep, but there's a couple guys at the top of that position that are pretty good fantasy players, I think. I think it's a good floor play depending on what the rest of your roster looks like, in total honesty.
Travis Kelce probably fits that definition perfectly.
Kelce, Laporta, Bowers. I think when you get into the Tucker Crafts of the world, I think that's where you're rolling dice, where it could be high upside but very low floor.
You have Laporta?
I do have Laporta, yeah. That's
a real disappointment this year, huh?
Yeah, he was the guy I drafted with that 4th-round pick after I drafted Joe Mixon at the draft.
Wow.
He was my quick reaction. Oh, no, I'll take Laporta.
Quick shift to Laporta.
Yeah.
But now he's just a tight end play. He used to have yards. But anyway,
yeah.
Going deep. Do you remember this one? I'm gonna cut you a break here because this is the worst going deep in the history of going deeps that we've ever had.
Oh, interesting.
This one ranks dead last.
Can I do it's gotta be like 46 yards.
44.
Oh, close.
Pretty close though.
No idea who it is.
44. It was T. Higgins with a 44-yarder. Kaleli started him. This was the all-time worst. The previous worst was Zay Flowers, Week 9, 2024. He had a 53-yarder. It must have been something with Week 9s because that was kind of weird.
5 weeks.
Yeah. Rashid Shaheed, the newly traded Rashid Shaheed, still holds the top spot at 87 yards. All right, Casey, one-on-one. Scoring summary. Before I start with the scoring summary, this was the 4th straight week where there was an 80-plus point blowout. Can you slow down and take that stat for 4 straight weeks? There has been a team that has been blown out by 80 points. I thought that we kind of were really joined in the beginning of the season. All of a sudden, there's been some massive ass kickings going on. All right,
my guess: combination of early season trying to figure things out. Then it bleeds into this time of year where you have teams with significant bye problems or injury problems, where a lot more sort of high risk, high reward roster plays. And if you get a week where, Lloyd booms on CJ, who has his quarterback dislocate his elbow, yeah, it's queuing itself up for a blowout. You see that elbow? Did you see it?
Yes, unfortunately. I gotta update my Instagram stuff because that was to show up, and I gotta get a warning or something. Yeah, I gotta get a warning.
Yeah, it's the algorithm. Chloe likes that stuff. It gives me the willies.
Yeah, and between Scattaboo and this and Daniel's elbow, and it seems like it's happening every week now.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Scoring summary: the last 3 weeks were 132, 136, 134. What do you think this was?
Quick math. This is going to be 133.
He cheated again. 133. You are correct. It is mostly because DeVita and DeVito sucked.
Yeah,
that was a little too punchy for me. I got to tone that back down.
You could do a quick scat and whisker plot, or box and whisker plot, whatever that thing is, because you got one guy at 190, one guy at 70. Pick somewhere in the middle. So
you would think with all these blowouts there would be a, I don't know. I guess that makes sense, but you would think that there would be a higher league. We haven't scored 140 in over a month as a league, so that's pretty bad.
I was going to say, I remember when this league was thriving, we were in the 140s as an average. I feel like this is a down year.
This is a down year. I was also looking at the booms and the total scores. We've had one person hit 200. It was Kaleli last week, or I forget who it was, whatever. But in the past, you look at 2021, there was 10 people that scored 200, and it was a lot.
What do you think happened?
What do you think happened with the league? Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I think some of it too. So if you look at the standings, you and I are both in what 8th and 9th right now. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm in 7th. Correct yourself.
7th and 8th. We're both 4 and 5. You know what I mean? Like I think the league might be a little bit more evenly distributed. So maybe
yes,
that's why.
It is. I think I was
really
talking to Jeff today. This is a side note before we get into the week in review. But I was talking to Jeff today. Trying to make trades is hard because everybody's active now, so there's no free agents, and then everybody's sitting on roster spots. I think we need to cut the rosters down, and I'm going to bring that up as everyone has the same reaction. But I think that we should. I think that this is time to maybe cut it back down to 15. There's open the pool up a little bit more.
Maybe. I think you're picking the wrong time to ask that question or bring it up. You're better off asking that question when there isn't this injury thing, but also guys aren't dealing with buys. I mean, we're going to see a matchup this week where a guy has only like 3 guys on his bench available, and he's got to fill 4 starting spots because everybody's on bye. So it's not the opportune time to bring up that. I
think it would make them more engaging. People would be more likely to move, less attached to people.
I mean, I agree with you. Certainly have some guys move around. You probably have to think more about, what you're doing with the waiver wire every week,
Yeah. I know you're a scared white man in Connecticut. So, I mean, it would be slowly voted on, incorporated, and slowly I'd give you enough time to worry about it. I know you.
Did you do your civic duty? Did you do your civic duty and vote yesterday, Pete?
No, I did my civic duty and not vote. I'll tell you right now, because I don't pay attention to it enough. I should honestly. I'm not qualified to vote, and I know it. How about you? You feel good? You like that mayor in New York? No comment.
It's not.
Did you see that
he's the mayor of New York? Nothing's going to happen to me.
Did you see that the people of Kentucky, they had to be issued a statement that they couldn't vote on the mayor of New York? People in Kentucky were showing up thinking that they could vote for the mayor of New York.
It's unbelievable, man. It's just people are just so dumb.
They're quite stupid.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about. What's up?
Yeah.
You getting drinks?
Get back to football.
Let's talk about week 9, week in review. Let's start with the game of the week. That was Mike versus Steve. Oh my God, Steve. Good God. That did not go well. Yeah, the opposite of that. All right, so this game was 149-76. Steve shits the bed in his biggest matchup of the season. It did not go well. 76 points was the second lowest score of the year. No, it was the lowest score of the year. It was behind only his second lowest score was also 78 points. The kid has scored 2 points that are really, really bad. So I don't know. I'm doing it really bad. But anyway, the point is when DeVito loses, he loses terribly, terribly bad, as I said before. Mike pulls more magic out of the air. And I was pretty impressed by that. Mike stays at number 1. There's a lot of questions for Steve, who falls from 5 down to 9, Casey. The epic drop of Steve DeVito from an almost playoff team to a basement dweller with 1 loss. What do you have to say?
I know we're going to get to the next game in our boom of the week, but do you notice the coincidence between DeVito being stubborn on his 1% take on Lloyd, which, by the way, has to be one of the worst all-time takes in podcast history, right, for what his roster was. Like, he's not making the playoffs because I don't see anybody ahead of him losing games. He's like on a 4-game lose streak since he made that call. So he's essentially moved himself out of the way so Lloyd could climb up. Now Lloyd's 1 game out of the playoffs and has more points than everybody.
We could call it the Steve DeVito 1% curse. Like the day that he gave the one, he has won 0% games.
Yeah, like we even gave him a second shot to kind of hey, you want to go rebuttal on that? Like, do you want to sort of No, I think it's still 1%. All right, maybe 20. Yeah, you're not making.
I'll say 20. I'll say 25. You sure? Okay, 48.
Bad showing by Steve. I mean, I said a couple weeks ago, and I've been prodding him a little bit, and I know he made a move today, but he does have a quarterback problem. So are we going to see the Jackson Dart era officially start, and DeVito want to be one of our sellers here down the stretch? So, but Jordan Love I saw it last year. He's just not the answer as a fantasy quarterback. So
So did you listen to the podcast last week?
I did. I can't find it, but I did.
I'm sorry, I'll fix that. Steve, we had a big talk back and forth about how it's got to be ridiculous if he ever benches Jordan Love again. Yeah. And I kind of hammered it home. I said, you got to be an idiot if you play Dart ever again. This kid's, and then Dart puts up probably like a top 5 performance. This kid's, he's lost after this. This one's got to get him spinning, but you got to think, give him the benefit of the doubt. He was in Lake Placid. He was overwhelmed by both American history and Olympic history. Yeah. That's his MO. I
actually I've been trying to get one guy I want on this team. So I've been trying to offer him a deal and sort of a bigger deal.
Okay.
And I kind of tried to use that almost like as a distraction. When I was texting, I was like, hey, what do you think about this? You're like, you need a quarterback. By the way, how was Lake Placid? Was it awesome? Oh, that's so cool. Like, how was the kid? Like, yeah, like here and this, here and that. It's like, so what do you think about the trade? Like trying to get him off.
I'm sure he didn't see through it at all. He's like, oh, this is nice.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
You could have just asked him about his vacation.
No, I
got to say, the guy is a grade A dad when it comes to taking videos. They have got to be some of the worst cell phone videos I've ever seen taken. It's blurry. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at. There's a lot of sound. Sometimes he loses. It's like he's 65 years old. All right.
It's true.
Game 2. Game 2. This one is the battle of two tall men. Larkin, the 7 seed, beats Spates, the 3 seed. Pete, let's hear it. It was 197 to 116. Lloyd was the projected boom on Wednesday or I guess throughout the week, and he delivers. It was the blowout of the week. Spates loses the game, and his quarterback's elbow bends backwards in the process, so that didn't go great. Dan has a lot of question marks, but I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. A lot of question marks for next week. But when everyone's up and healthy, it looks like you're going to get these 180-point games from this kid over and over again. It's crazy that he lost 5 in a row to start the season. Thank God he's got to dig out of that. This might have been a very boring season if he had not started that way. Dan moves from 7 to 5. Spate stays at 3. What do you got to say?
I'm curious because, again, AI had it. Multiple take artists on this podcast had about this potentially being like a Lloyd all-time scoring team, record-setting team. Super bad start, right? But hit the points that he's put up. You said 3 of the last 4 booms. Like, is he still in striking distance of doing that with being healthy? Like, I don't think it's off the table, even though it's such a bad start. You know what I mean? Like, his team is, and it's different guys every week. Like, I would have thought, I mean, I wasn't on last week because I had some other responsibilities I had to take care of. But I wouldn't have thought that Drake Letta would have been in for the big game. Like, I would have thought Gonzalez, Pat's taking him away, playing at home. Like, I wouldn't, but go for 3 touchdowns and make some like crazy catches. It's like one of the one games that I watched over the weekend. So like when CD has a mediocre game, like, or JSN has a mediocre game, there's so many other guys that can just vault him to the top. Like, this really is, even at, what is he, 5-4 or whatever he is? Like, 4, 5, this is still his league for the taking, I think.
So he lost 5 in a row to start the season. He has now won 4 in a row to kind of redeem himself. Do you think he will continue on to sweep the league, or do you think that there will be a bump somewhere in those next 6 games?
No, it's a good foreshadowing, Pete. Good foreshadowing, because I think this is going to be the week where it's going to slow it down a little bit. He's dealing with bye week with everybody in 1 week. So
this is the week. Oh, all right. We're getting ahead of ourselves. All right. Game number 3. The battle between, what do these guys have in common?
Who's this?
What do they have in common?
They can't grow facial hair above their
jawline. Two guys that can't grow facial hair. Forgot all about that take. Breen tops Innis 137 to 124. This matchup had some big implications on the standings. I was kind of watching it because I would have jumped a seat if Jeff won, but it did not happen. Breen kind of got lucky there. I guess not lucky. He's actually doing good. but it made everything kind of messier than ever. But anyway, real kick in the balls for Jeff, who has watched a game where Marvin Harrison decides to show up for the first time in his career. I mean, I've been waiting for a Marvin Harrison breakout for quite some time, and it just happens to be on the week. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad luck for Jeff. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Breen jumps from the 6th seed to the all-important 4 seed. Jeff drops. They switch spots. He goes down to the 6th seed. What do you think about Breen? Is this a fluke, or how do you feel?
It seems like a seesaw, right? Like one game above 500, back to 500, one game below 500. I feel like him and Jeff have essentially had the counter season to each other. One goes up, one goes down, and they just fall between that 4 and 6 seed the entire time. So, for Ennis, like if you look at this game, right, you have, as of today, the number 1 and number 2 fantasy point players in the league with McCaffrey and Taylor. One guy goes for 41, the other guy goes for 8. So when you don't get both those guys as the top 5 players, you're probably in trouble. Still a respectable 124. Breen just kind of gives you just kind of maybe his best game, but it's 137. So you're playing Breen ball, and he squeaks one out by 10 points. So, yeah, Jeff's. I mean, DeVito says it all the time, right? Like the keys to Jeff winning are going to be his top 2 players, and that might be the only thing he's got going for him.
Breen's pretty consistently over the year had a pretty sloppy style of fantasy. I know that you and I talk about Breen ball a lot, but that's a real thing. Like you play against him, and you don't do very well.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he's a ground and pound, freaking punch it deep, run the ball, time possession guy. I mean, he also won with the 0 spot out of Roma Dunze, right? Which is crazy because did Chloe say that on the text chain? Like, how'd they score 40 points, but Rome has 0? Or is that DeVito, I think, said it. Like, he's crazy. You wouldn't have thought that,
They're making memes about it, and Breen was able to have the guy and still get a victory. It's absolutely insane. Good win for Breen. All right, we'll see how he does in the playoffs, or holds on to. Let's see how long he can hold on to that 4 spot. Speaking of somebody that's been holding on to a spot for quite some time, the number 2 seed Darian suffers his first loss in the bridesmaids position, I guess you would call it. Yes. Christian was pretty hot in that spot until number 9 seed Casey shows up with what could be the biggest upset of the weekend. It was 163. I have dyslexia. 163 to 155. Casey, congratulations. You proved you can beat a team whose quarterback does not finish the first half with an injury. Very impressive.
And thank goodness he didn't.
Yeah. Lamar came back, but the quarterback's never really been a problem with your team. I think with all due respect, I think Christian might have blown this one. What do you think? I'm sorry. No. I thought there would be more people when I was going to say that joke, so it was not going to hit.
Fair enough. You make a joke about the one guy that's on here. If I silent treatment, you're on your own. So
I can't mute you. I'm just going to be here by myself.
Send me the back room. Team's different. Like 163, right? Team's different. Lamar's there. Rico Dowdell is now the lead back in Carolina. The team is different when those 2 things are happening, which I haven't had together. I think it's the first time I've had those 2 things together. So we'll see what happens. But
it was a fully healthy, fully assembled week for you. Are you saying Dowdell like that intentionally?
I'm saying it intentionally now.
Okay, yes. I'll just make sure I'm not missing that joke.
Chloe mentioned this the other day, right? So obviously I'm watching Christian's teams very closely. I think he said it when we played him 2 weeks ago. Christian's team is terrible to play against if you're watching his guys play. That Thursday night game, A-Chain touches the ball all the time. Bijan Robinson playing against the Pats, I watched that game. He touches the ball all the time. It is like the most anxious I've been watching a fantasy matchup because those guys are always touching the ball. It's never comfortable playing against him.
I have to back that completely. And I remember an example back in the day when he had Le'Veon Bell. And Le'Veon Bell was always kind of a Darian guy. And the way Le'Veon Bell kind of runs, where he kind of like stayed behind the line and then took off for 20 yards, it was like having open heart surgery watching when you were playing Darian and you were watching Le'Veon Bell. That is interesting. And he got the ball constantly. So maybe a recipe for what kind of guys Darian's looking for.
True.
What else you got here? You move up from the 9 spot to the 8. How do you feel about your playoff chances?
Honestly, I still think I'm in it. Nah, I'll give myself 6%. I want DeVito to tell me what DeVito to tell me what my percentage is so I can feel better about myself.
Yeah. The whole point of this podcast was buy or sell, to talk about whether or not you trade or not. But then I kind of thought about, like, well, everyone's kind of still in it, so it's kind of hard to decide whether or not you're buying or selling.
I actually think
and then a bunch of trades went down.
I actually think it's a great time to do it, Pete, because I do think, like, put this way, like with some of the feelers I put out there in the last 2 weeks, I could see myself selling or I could see myself buying. Like I kind of see it both ways depending on if I get the deal I want. Now, I did have a trade talk this afternoon where let's just say the other manager, feels very differently about the player than I do. And I told him, like, I'm not going to give him away for nothing. Like, I could just keep him too, so we'll see if those get closer together, but we're on two extremes right now. So
that sounds like Darian just from general.
Bingo. Hey, you just lost the game because you don't have a quarterback. Would you like one? Yeah, I'll give you a 10th rounder for him. Okay, well, that's not gonna happen.
I don't even think we can trade 10th rounders, and I'm the commissioner.
I don't want to divulge too many specifics.
All right. Next game. Last game. My voice cracked. I have 2 kids. I'm still going through puberty. The next game is the Toilet Bowl, which ended up being a redemption for me. I usually lose to my cousin. This is me versus Andy. I usually lose to my cousin, but this one was a dub, 130-81. Thanks to my boy Sam Darnold, my new favorite Sammy D. My cat can take a step aside. Kyler ruined my whole game plan for the entire thing. As you know, I told everybody I was traded for him and ordered him to play against the Cowboys. Not only did he not play, he wasn't even inactive. He kept me hanging all the way until whenever. I'm so happy for Sam Darnold. It caused for an immediately cut one-way ticket. Kyler's on the free agent. He's on his way to the Killer Bees if Christian didn't sign McCarthy, but he's gone. Kyler's out of here. 7th
Good
loss for what's that?
Good move.
Yeah, get that guy the hell out of here. I hate Kyler. All right. The other thing is Andy DeVita suffered his 7th loss. We usually call those the kill shot losses, where you are officially out of playoff contention once you get your 7th. 8th means you're really dead. But I might have sent him golfing early this season.
You could use
what else do I have to say here? No, I'm good. Go ahead. What do you have to say about this one?
No, good call in the DJ Moore game. You were ahead of that one.
I'm a good manager. I moved from 8th to 6th with this win. I want to remind you I have more points than you and Steve. And I want to remind you I have a better record than you, or better seeding than you. So
this, you talking about this week or for the season?
This season, I have more points than you and a better seed. You could say I'm the best person. I'm the best manager on this podcast. We
have the same record, but you have
30 I didn't say that. I said I'm better standing than you.
30 more points than me.
Yeah, and I'm higher scorer. Both are true.
We'll see what happens.
You got me in hair. I just got my hair cut and all right. So you don't have any picks. You don't have any recaps. You got nothing.
Oh, so I do have some picks. I can go back to week 8.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, the only fun fact I have for you, and it's very brief, is okay. So for our audience, we're working on some technical difficulties. I did listen to week 9. I did listen to week 9 on Thursdays, as I typically do, but I did not track the picks as I was driving into work. So then I was going to go back and listen to the picks so I could chart it and track it. I can't find it on Spotify right now, but we are working on that behind the scenes to get you your latest Entering Milford content. So back to week 8. So I have a 1-week recap for you. Also, every
content is also always available on Apple Podcasts or YouTube or anywhere else you would like to view it. By the way,
I could have gone to YouTube. I don't have Apple, but I could have gone to YouTube. In fact, I was waiting till the 11th hour to do it. Everybody in week 8, Pete, went 2 and 3. All 4 of us.
Oh God.
Yeah, not really riveting. So not much change.
Wonder I'm leading this mediocre group of pickers.
You and Steve, you two butt buddies, have the same pick'em record at 23-17 and the same superlative record at 9-15. So you guys are literally the exact same.
Do you think he? I feel weird picking first. I would love to pick second. There's no strategy to picking first, and so it's kind of hard. But I feel like I might persuade him a couple times.
I mean, obviously you prepare your picks ahead of time. I don't.
Yeah.
So I just kind of go off it in the moment.
I do have to say I do pick the majority of my picks off of just jokes I want to say.
That's fair.
I don't really do much thought about it.
It's fair.
Yo, how cool is this? They had a like and subscribe button.
Oh, look at that.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
It's awesome.
That's kind of cool. Anyway,
yeah. You can find us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts as well.
Yeah, not just on Spotify. All right, what are we talking about? Let's talk about week 10, week in review.
Rivalry week.
I feel like I'm gonna burp. It is rivalry week. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That might be more where that came from. All right, number one seed.
Okay.
What's that?
I said, how do we do this? I need to get myself my second beverage, but if I leave, you're gonna be.
Go get it. Go get it. I'll wait for you.
Go ahead, start. No, start. Go.
I'll start. Don't worry. I can handle this by myself. I should just kick him out. Oh, this is awkward. I've never podcasted by myself. Take this opportunity to just talk. It's interesting. All right.
It's quick.
The game of the week. Number one seed Mike versus the number 4 seed Breen. The last time they played was week 1, and Mike won by 11. It was a close one. Thursday night football, I think, is really going to determine this game early, which is tomorrow night. So Thursday night football, watch for that one. Breen has Genty. Kaleli has the 2 wide receivers on the other teams that are going to match up against each other. Genty has been good lately, and if he can control that game and make it a run-first game, that is a big hit for Kaleli. He loses 2 wide receivers really early in the week, and Breen would be in a good position. Mike is the more talented team, but as you said, Case, it is a rivalry week, so I am going to go with Mike to blow. Mike to blow this one, and I think that Breen may have Mike to blow this one. I think that Breen may have found something, and I think that Allen is in Miami, so I'm going to pick Breen.
So I'm going to join you on that one.
I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
How you doing?
Hi, boys.
Thanks for joining.
Who do you got, Steve? Breen or Kaleli?
We're at the game of the week.
Oh, perfect timing. I'm going to take Kaleli.
I mean, you can think about it.
No, I'm taking Kaleli. I think he's finally healthy with a bunch of his guys now. Made that trade there today to get DK. Nice trade to get Diggs, a couple wide receivers in the bottom half of his roster, trying to shore that up. So I'm going to take Kaleli.
Steve, do you feel weird about his lack of commitment to the podcast?
Yeah, it's a tough day for Mike, huh?
Yeah.
Steve, if I told you that Pete picked Breen, would you like to change your pick?
No, I heard him talking.
So I
was backstage there for about 30 seconds.
It's right before you walked in. You and Pete had the identical records in both the picks and the superlatives. So I just figured you guys want to be the same. So that's all.
We're just in tempo.
Two of us last week, we were just trying to make things happen. So it's kind of a
it's the side of a good duo. Basically, Ben Bell who?
So I'm going to side with Pete on this one. I think it's Breen. I know Kaleli was active in the last 2 days with a couple of trades. I don't know how much that actually improved him. I think he's trying to fill gaps with sort of where his team is. Like, he is 7-2, but I don't think he feels as good about his team as he did early on in the season. I think Puka getting back gives him a higher floor, but I do think that Breen is, if we get a little bit more traction out of Marvin with Brissett at quarterback as opposed to that bum Kyler, I think that raises his floor. I don't think Odunze is going to put up another 0 spot back-to-back weeks. And Pete said it. Josh Allen, Miami, I think it's a big one. So I'm taking Breen. I'm taking Breen's my upset.
I think Odunze's hurt. That's why he put up a 0.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't see the cue. We're off the cuff here.
Ankle and wheel injury. That actually, they said it hampered him last week. That's part of the reason he didn't get the targets.
That's why we need you. We need you, Steve. We need you for the actual information.
Coming in. Casey, when you look at Kaleli's trades, does that have desperation on it or no? Do you think desperation or no?
I mean, I think he's obviously made a couple of those for bye weeks this week because he does have the Bengals on bye, which takes out Brown and Higgins. And obviously Higgins coming off a 40 spot last week, which he sort of has needed. So I think it's sort of a 1 week fill. Now, what did you give up, Steve? 2 seconds for Metcalf? Was that what it was today?
2 seconds and Chuba.
Okay. Yeah, Chuba. He just got replaced by Dowdell. And then he's fine. He's fine. And then the Diggs, I think, is, like maybe a good plug and play week to week. So I think this is just more of a bye week move to keep him where he is.
Vito, tell me how the DK trade went down.
Started yesterday. I actually wanted Scatterboo, but the only way he was going to get Diggs, I think, was to have Scatterboo, talking to Andy. So we pivoted and worked off the having Chuba in there was more of a throw-in for me. I wanted the 2 seconds more than I needed Chuba in that. So
that's good.
Do you feel? Sorry, Pete. Do you feel like it's a comparative return? 2 seconds. Do you find that Metcalf and Keon Coleman are in the same bracket of wide receiver?
So my concern about DK is that Aaron Rodgers right now he stinks, and I don't know who the quarterback is going to be there next year. And to Pete's point, I wish I listened a little bit more earlier to Pete. We talked about Metcalf. Watching him the last couple of weeks, he has been brutally difficult to watch. I mean, he doesn't look anything like the guy
Stoney.
Well, not only that, but like I don't know if you noticed this. He used to have thighs that were like double the size of my head, and that's huge. And
that is massive.
Yes. And his legs now they're like this. I mean, he looks like he's tremendously slimmed down. And in that offense in Pittsburgh, it's not a good fit for him.
That's the second I wish I listened to Pete on this podcast. I want to start framing those, put them in a testimonial, or do something along those lines. What do you guys think of Scatterboo for Diggs, no picks? Let me start with my opinion. I think Scatterboo is a popular player because he does the stuff and has all the clips and screams. And I think Diggs is a popular player among us because he plays for the Patriots and he dates Cardi B and we do like the whole thing. So I think that the whole trade is like two hyped players, but I don't know who got the best deal of it. I don't think Diggs is that great of a player. So I guess maybe Andy, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
So I think
sorry. Well, I was going to say I don't think that I don't know what Diggs' ceiling is anymore. Like they say he's a step slower. Like I think it's sort of game plan by game plan with the Patriots / McDaniels offense. It kind of always has been. And he's not playing the traditional slot like an Edelman or not in the Gronkowski role, obviously. For Andy, like, maybe taking a shot, but like last time I checked, like we all just assume that all these guys are going to come back from injury, no problem. Like the dude's ankle was facing the opposite direction, and he's a running back. Like you kind of need your ankle
that's great.
to run.
Well, not only was his ankle facing the wrong direction, but he broke his fibula. He has multiple ligaments that are torn.
Yeah,
and he's definitely got CTE.
Yeah, and he's not shifty. He doesn't like run away from people. Like, you know what I mean? So like, what is the I mean, I don't think he plays that good. So
would you compare Diggs in where he is right now to like a Keenan, the way that Keenan is?
No, I think Keenan's better.
So the reason you think Keenan's better?
Yeah. I think I trust Keenan more. See, the thing I don't understand about Diggs, and I want to get your guys' perspective of it because you're Patriots fans and you watch the game. Like, I remember the Patriots spread it around and wide receivers aren't ever going to be featured. That used to be like Belichick-y and stuff. Maybe McDaniels stuff a little bit. So does that stuff with McDaniels transcend over to Vrabel and they still are spreading it around? Or are they actually going to focus in on Diggs? I still don't know.
Well, I think Diggs has a bit of a higher floor. Right, like I think he's pretty consistent. You're probably going to get like 3 or 4 catches a week, but those 3 or 4 catches for Diggs could be one week could be like 4 for 85, or it's like 4 for 22. They like to run the ball. It's obvious. I mean, you think they'd give the ball to Travion Henderson a little bit more, but like,
yeah, maybe makes no sense.
Nope. See you. Another bad trade. Bad job establishing value in the offseason.
It's all right. It's not like it's your job.
I do think the McDaniels, and this could be a Belichickian thing or not, but I think they do craft their game plan week to week relative to matchup. So like if it is a Diggs matchup week, you'll see him featured more. If it's not, then you'll get what Steve was talking about, which is like 3 or 4 catches. I would say 2 weeks ago, Steve was when he got his first touchdown because he didn't have one all year. Like they force fed him by the goal line to get him his first touchdown. Other than that, though, like I think it's just game plan specific.
Yeah, he's at back-to-back. But so like last week, I mean, I know Cleveland's Cleveland, but he was three catches for 14 yards in that touch.
Yeah.
But the week before was 7 for 69. I think I think you're right. That Buffalo game, you could tell they were force feeding him in that Buffalo game. 10 for $146. And ever since then, he hasn't crossed over 69 yards. So
I love him. I love him as a Patriots wide receiver, like watching the Patriots and being a fan of the Patriots. I love him as a player. I don't like him as a fantasy player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I think there was so much hype around it. Anyway,
yeah.
Case, would you say you're a better high school baseball coach, baseball scout, or a fantasy football scout?
I've been part of more championship teams as a professional coach than a fantasy coach.
All right, so
in fairness, though, I have a little bit more control over the game than this.
All right, so you're leading more high school baseball scout. All right. Game number 2.
I don't know what my hit rate is on recruits, though. It's probably the same as my draft rate.
I think we can agree. I think you're a better high school baseball scout too.
I don't coach high school, Pete. If you
well, you gotta scout kids in high school.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Next game, number 2 seed Christian Nadarian against number 5 seed Dan Larkin. In week 1, Christian won by 45. Really laid him out. Not only did Christian win that week, he took home the week 1 boom. This was the start of Lloyd's 0-5 stretch, which might have saved us all in this league from a very boring fall. Too many buys this week for Larkin. Christian's basically at full strength. And I think Christian has the edge with all those running backs in favorable spots. I'm going to pick Christian. And I'm going to go out on a limb and lock it against Lloyd because it sounds good. But with all those buys, it's not really that hard of a take. So, Christian, lock it. Casey, what do you think?
Yeah, so again, as I talked earlier, Pete, like I've been a fan of Dan Larkin this whole way. I did give him a fair amount of criticism with the 0-5 start, but I think his team is to be reckoned with. But I'm going to take my opportunity here to give him a shot. Like you don't pick up with $0 fab dollars DK from Tennessee 2 weeks ago when you know you have this many buys coming into it. Like you need to be looking further ahead when you have this type of buy-mageddon going on to pick up your guys well before, because you know you are not outbidding anyone, Dan, because you spent $60 on Justin Fields. So now you're going to kill your own momentum because you have no one to play this week because, again, bad managing. I'm taking Christian because A-Chain and Bijan are the hardest 2 guys to watch when you're playing against them. Enjoy that watch, Dan. Christian, my lock this week.
Woo, lock it up. So 2 for Christian. 2 locks for Christian. Just a quick reminder that the trade deadline is November 30th, and you can trade for fab money. So Dan Larkin, if you want to recoup a Justin Fields $60, you can have it. DeVito, Casey, Larkin, what do you think? DeVito, Darian Larkin, what do you think? I'm messing up all you guineas names. Go ahead.
So I know he said that Dan doesn't have anyone to play, but he's going to plug in Wandale, Breece Hall, and Montgomery. And they're really not terrible matchups. Wandale Robinson in Chicago, who just gave up 42 to Joe Flacco in the Bengals. Montgomery is playing Washington. That is a horrible defense that was just seen on Monday Night Football. He's going to get Bo Nix in there at home in a Thursday night showcase game where they're going to throw the ball a bunch against Vegas. So I don't think it's that he has nobody to play. I just don't think it's his guys. So I've been talking about the Dan Larkin 1% train here for a while. And while we're going to maybe back off the 1%, these are the weeks I was talking about for Dan to get himself into the top 4 is going to be really, really difficult because he's going to have one or two of these weeks where he can't afford to slip back into that 7-loss area. And this is now going to put him, if he loses this week, one loss away. To quote D2 in Gordon Bombay, one loss away from elimination.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that because this puts him one strike away from really a kill shot, and he better recover. Yeah, DeVito, I got a question for you because Darian's going with JJ McCarthy, which seems to be his pickup right before this game started. Why not go with Joe Flacco? Or why not go with Aaron Rodgers? I know you don't like Aaron Rodgers, but why not take a run at one of these older people instead of JJ McCarthy? Or do you like JJ McCarthy?
Why not call Brian Casey and go trade for Justin Herbert?
I mean, that's impossible. We've already.
In fairness, there may have been some conversations, but let's just say we're very far apart on how we value the quarterbacks.
Okay, so at that point, why not just go get Joe Flacco? Why go McCarthy? You see anything there?
No, I just don't understand why Darian has 2 firsts and multiple seconds this year, multiple firsts of next year. He's a guy that is in the running to win it. He is a quarterback out. How do you
He's
not?
struggling. He's struggling filling that quarterback spot like that. Why?
Christian, why?
If he hit a nice patch where maybe he got like Sam Darnold. If he picked up Sam Darnold, like he had somebody along those lines, it would be different. But he's not even really filling the spot very well. And so yeah, why not, Casey?
Well, now that Pete's made his plug to Christian about Sam Darnold, let me make my plug about Justin Herbert.
I would never try. I'd drop Sam Darnold before. I don't think Christian would offer me a 20th round pick. It would be like the worst.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. If to Steve's point, when you have multiple years of multiple firsts, right? Certainly, like those, obviously you value those. But could you leverage one of those where maybe you take a little, if you value them high, like wouldn't you take a guy like Herbert for maybe just one first rounder since you have so many? Or do you think that's still not worth the cost of business?
I think that's worth it to me.
You're talking to the two guys that don't care about.
Yeah. Try to be as objective as possible since none of us have picks ever.
I would be pretty objective here. If I was in his situation, you got to understand this is in August. This kid needs to win this kid is looking at a championship. He's in the 2 seed and a commanding lead of the 2 seed, by the way. So, I mean, like he's going towards the playoff. He needs a quarterback. I would trade a first for Herbert right now, and I don't think that that's me being outlandish. I think that that's a reasonable price. If Christian's not doing that, and throwing out 7th round pick,
if you don't think that that's a normal thing to do,
Christian doesn't value it. And you know what? He might have a point though. Flacco's out there can fill it right now for free.
Again, the only thing I'll say about Larkin. Right? Because Steve's right. Like. We're getting to that. I don't think this is going to be a year where that 7 loss is going to be much of a threat, considering that he has the most points in the league now. He has 30 or 20 more points than the first place team, and he is 1 game out of 3rd in the win and loss column, right? Where if he gets to 5 losses, and this is where all of his guys are on buys, pending that he stays healthy. If he even loses to a 7, I think by points he's going to get himself into potentially even the 3 spot, never mind the 4, with how things are shaking out, with everybody being 5-4 to 4-5 between 3 and 9. It's relative to everybody else. So we can't be looking just at the loss column anymore because everybody's going to have the same amount of wins and losses, and you're going to see him jump because of points.
Steve?
Could you take a look for me, Pete? I can't see it where I am. Can you tell me who Dan has left on his schedule coming down the stretch here?
I don't have it in front of me.
Why Pete looked that up, Steve, before you jumped on, we were talking about the 1% thing. Do you know, since you doubled down on that 1% thing, that you went from a 3rd place team to a 9th place team and have lost 4 straight?
Yeah, karma's a royal bitch.
So you've done yourself a favor and removed yourself from being one of the teams that Dan has to worry about.
Yeah, I try to help Dan out, Yeah,
there you go.
A little reverse psychology for you.
Dan's next 4 games are against Christian, Steve, Casey, Kaleli. So he runs the podcast right after Christian.
Yeah, so he's probably going to come out of that thing 3-1.
Christian, Steve, Casey, Mike.
Okay. So if he goes 2-2, how much trouble is he in?
I mean, if he beats either Mike or Christian, who he's chasing, who are ahead of him, as long as he beats me and you, he's staying ahead of us. You know what I mean? So 2-2.
We don't come into this equation at the 8-9 seed, though. We're talking about like Spates, Breen, Innes.
My point is we're talking about the 8-9 seed. You said we're 8-9 because of points, but we're tied for 5th record.
No, I get what you're saying. But look at the guys that are in front of him that have made a couple of moves, right? Like Duddy made a nice move today. He added McBride, putting him in there that is going to give him another consistent guy. So my point with Dan previous, it's not that Dan doesn't have a good team. He does. But on these type of weeks when he's going to have a couple guys on a bye, he can't afford to slip up more than once or twice because he's going to put himself behind the 8 ball. That's all I was trying to say with that previously. Getting back to the game, I'm taking Christian. Christian's my lock. Trifecta. Go for it.
This is only the second game. All right, Christian with the triple lock.
Innes added McBride. Who?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
I did a trade with Innes.
Oh, Pete. I love Pete. Tight end.
You got to strike quick. I actually don't feel very good about that trade. I feel kind of stupid. I kind of maybe.
What was the trade? I missed it.
I traded McBride and Jordan Mason, who I was really going to cut. I can't believe he even wanted him. And I got back Kamara and
Ridley.
Who's the other guy?
Ridley.
Ridley, Calvin Ridley on the. I after I got done with it, I was like, I don't really like this. I kind of wish I had McBride.
Anyway, did you lock that? Sorry, did you lock that?
Lock it up.
All right, so we got 3 locks. Cool.
Next game, the battle of Pete DeLuca against Jeff Innes. It is the 6 seed against the 7. It is, if you guys aren't going to say it, I am. There you go, Case.
Can someone explain that to me? Because I don't get it. My kids are too young. Like, I don't get the 6-7 thing.
Okay, I can explain it to you. Steve, do you know what it is? I can explain.
Go, Pete.
Okay, 6-7. What my daughter told me was that, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the greatest thing and 1 is the, like, blah, 6-7 means somebody's, like, mediocre. So, like, when they say, well, what do you think about this person? They go, 6-7. And so, like, it kind of is like they're just kind of average mediocre. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that along the lines of what you think, Steve?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's just kind of like it's average.
Wouldn't 5 be average? You know, like.
Well, they're trying to be nice. The Gen Z.
Yeah.
It's also like I think they're
scaling the class average.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to it being the battle of 6-7, Jeff won week 1 by 6 points, which is kind of annoying. It was the lowest winning. It was the closest margin of victory of week 1. Also, Jeff, this is a notable game because Jeff scored 100 points. This is the lowest winning scoring game, whatever, you know what I'm trying to get at, of the entire season. Anybody that scored below 100 points lost. So this is a big game. The big matchup is Jonathan Taylor going to Berlin. I'm kind of hoping he gets detained on the way there, maybe at the airport, maybe something like international happens. It would be a long shot, but I'm hoping for it. I think it comes through. I'm going to pick myself in the upset.
So,
for the record, that's me picking not only a win, but Jonathan Taylor getting detained on the way to Berlin. Case, go ahead.
You put in a call.
Pete with the upset. Go ahead.
Now that I know there's the trade that happened, I think Innes has done a nice job of improving the bottom of his roster with Trey McBride. I like Trey McBride, Pete.
I love Trey McBride.
We were in some trade discussions with him at the very beginning of the year, and I actually was kind of mad at myself that I balked at it and didn't jump early. So it might be something I regret moving forward. So
wait, for Trey McBride?
Yeah, we were talking about him originally. I forget what it was about, but he was a name you floated out there, and I should have just jumped it, but I didn't. I think I was playing hard to get.
Would you say you wish you listened to Pete?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I wish I took advantage. I wish I took advantage of Pete.
There you go.
So Pete brings in Calvin Ridley, who hasn't played in forever. Godwin has projected points next to his name for the first time in several weeks, but I don't think you'd expect him to get anywhere close to those numbers. McLaurin is still out. Kamara put up I think 3 rushes for 5 yards this past weekend. So that Saints team is miserable. So I'm going to take Ennis. If I didn't use my lock against Lloyd this week, I would use it here. So I'm taking Ennis.
You watch.
Yeah. So, I'm taking Ennis.
Why? One guy makes that big of a difference. I don't have Trey McBride anymore. You guys
No,
are like, oh, no.
the problem that you have though, it's not just the Trey McBride, is that to Case's point, Alvin Kamara stinks. Swift now has he's going to be splitting that backfield with Monangai after what he just did.
You read all the headlines.
You love saying that name, Steve.
I do. Godwin, I don't think is playing this week.
Might as well take a year
doesn't
off.
Look good.
Does not look good, and I'm not exactly sure who you're going to put in. Because if you have one or two guys that are out.
If Jonathan Taylor gets detained in Berlin, though, think of how that changes this matchup.
I'm not sure it does. I don't think it does.
Who's your pick?
Seriously, who are you playing? If
Godwin's dude, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later.
You'll pick someone up on Saturday and play him.
He's got Fab.
Yeah.
He's got Fab.
I got Fab.
Yeah, I'm taking Ennis, and if I had a second luck, I'd probably do that too, Case.
How dare you?
Wow. Tides have turned.
How dare you? This team's ready to pop, and you guys know it. All right. So 6-7 doesn't look very mid. It looks pretty tilted in Jeff's favor. All right, next game.
4-5.
Spates, Davida. The battle of two guys in Memorial. I don't know. You guys are both Woodland trash. 3 seed Spates against 10 seed Davida. Week 1, CJ won by 20 points. Looks like Andy is the first to sell, followed closely by me. Puts up a bottom 5 score last week, and it looks like he's going to have trouble filling his roster too. I think Spates is primed, and I probably will pick him even without his starting quarterback. I think Stafford's probably a good fill. I'm going to pick Spates. I'm going to pick him at boom. DeVito, what do you think?
So Stafford has been hot, but going to San Francisco, I'm not sure he's going to have the same success because actually against San Francisco on the road, Stafford's been very average, and he's kind of due for a bit of a stinker. The guy's been hot as a pistol the last couple. Was he at 8 touchdowns the last 2 weeks? Something ridiculous like that.
Hot as a pistol, baby. Hot as a pistol.
Yeah, I like it. Throwing in some Raz.
The one thing that CJ has that I think is going to play in his favor is, Andy's big guys. Igbuka is going to be going against Christian Gonzalez, which is going to be a tough matchup for him. I don't know if DeVita can rely on Chubb to play in this game. And, the trade of Myers to Jacksonville, it's going to take him kind of out of the picture too. That's going to be a tough one for him. So I think Spates has the guns with Jacobs. Derrick Henry looks better now with Lamar back. Jahmyr Gibbs is just out of this world. So I got Spates in this one.
Spates taking the season sweep for us all. All right, poor DeVita. He's getting settled into that.
Spates is my boom.
Oh, we got Spates the boom. All right, so we got we tucked in a boom there. Spates hasn't boomed in a while. He was a big during his amazing season, storybook season last year that came up short. He boomed a lot, but not a lot this year.
Don't worry, CJ. Even though you shaded me this week, I'm still on you for the boom.
I'd like to make a big Pete before you jump to the next game. Thank you.
Fire away. What's up?
I'm taking Spates my boom.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm taking Spates my boom. In a week where a lot of teams are dealing with buys, Spates is not. And at the one position that he is, quarterback, he's probably got one of the best fill-ins with Stafford. So I'm taking Spates as my boom. Andy's team looked really threatening a couple weeks ago. We were picking him a lot in the last 3 weeks. That team does not look so good right now, which is amazing because a couple weeks ago, he was getting a lot of love from the pod. So I think Andy's going to ride that 2-7 to the first overall pick.
This is normally the time when Andy DeVita booms. You think there's absolutely zero chance on this one?
I like to go to Steve for my percentages.
Is there a 1% chance that DeVita will boom?
2%.
99% chance he booms.
He's the king of the boom.
He is.
Mac Lelly's got him, but whatever. All right, you guys good on that one? Casey, you got all your little nuggets in? All right, good. All right, now to the real toilet bowl. I'm going to call this one the jealous bowl, seeing as you guys didn't pick me. I'm not the one who's down in the basement as the 8 seed versus the 9 seed. I'm not the one who's outscored you both. Wait, I am. This one is the 8 seed Casey against the 9 seed DeVito. Week 1, Casey won by 60. Steve, what's up there? Jesus. This was the biggest blowout of the week. I like Casey this week. I just want to note that he is doing a stack bring back with Jackson, Flowers, and Jefferson on the Vikings. That fuels a big win in my opinion, and also warms my heart to see the stack bring back. I'm gonna pick Casey. I'm gonna take him to boom because of that stack bring back. I love it, Case. Thank you for honoring me and looking up to me in the standings and in life. You can go ahead.
Pete, you're right. I wish I took your advice.
I wish I listened to Pete. What do you think? How do you two think you're gonna fare this week?
Steve, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll see.
We're back to the week 1 matchup, and Lamar Jackson is back. My team is entirely different now than it was when he's hurt. I like my upside. We are seeing the start of the Jackson Dart error, Steve, potentially. It's going to happen. All right.
I don't know.
The
heavy on love.
Steve, the 2 things I find absolutely absurd about this when I was looking at this matchup, I looked at it a couple of times today, is, and again, it's been changed a little bit, but earlier in the week, Zay Flowers projected for 19, and earlier today, Jennings was projected for 18.5. Neither of those 2 guys are getting to those point totals. No way. So I'm taking myself high upside. This team is different with Lamar and Dowdell at the front of it. I'm taking myself, and I could give myself a boom, but I already gave it to Spades.
You got to be careful with those projections. I said I would eat my hat if Puka scored his 25 projection, and he ended up doing it.
Close.
His hat's still here. Thankfully I don't have to eat it. I was 2 points away. All right, DeVito, how do you feel about it? Go ahead.
Well, I didn't like the fact that Baltimore traded Jair Alexander, which now opens up Jefferson to be going essentially against a third corner this week.
Oof.
Didn't even know that.
Good point.
The only thing that I would
That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. They traded. Now they're gonna put some slapdick on Jefferson. Yeah.
The only thing that is working in my favor this week is the fact that all of my big guns have very favorable matchups. St. Brown and Washington, and after Detroit lost last week, they're going to come out. Come on, anyone want to say it?
No. What?
6-7.
Guns blazing. Come on, I just said it.
Guns blazing. 6-7.
Steve, is Bucky going to play?
I'm sorry?
Is Bucky going to play? Still not practicing?
I don't know. I'm not exactly excited about.
Let's give him another week.
Let's let him rest.
I don't think he's going to play.
Tucker Kraft's
that's one of the best run defenses in the NFL too.
Tucker Kraft's injury is going to open up more balls to the Duber. A little revenge game.
Your word.
I love that guy early in his career. I thought it was going to be awesome.
More balls.
I think I have a lot of matchups here where there's a lot of potential for high scoring games. I don't think I'm in a lot of these matchups where you're going to see that low scoring potential. I think there's a lot of shootouts for what it is that I have. So I'm just going to go opposite here. I don't really think I'm going to win this game, but I'm going to reverse psychology on Case and take myself as the upset.
Yeah, you have to do the reverse, so you have to take it.
I mean, I don't have to. I could have changed something, but
nope. Ironclad spreadsheet.
It's about the rule. I mean, we've been doing it for 5 years, Steve.
We took a year off last year.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps it on the recaps. What do you guys think? You guys excited? I think I feel pretty pessimistic about this week. I don't feel like I'm going to do very well, but that's all right. The last segment, we're at an hour, over an hour. Do you guys want to talk about buy or sell? I mean, we named the episode buy or sell. I figure we should probably talk about it at a little bit.
Let's do it quick.
All right. Who's one team that could make a trade that could propel them into the top 5? Who is one team that's in the top 4 that really needs to make a trade? Anyway, give me your insight. I want to know trade deadlines approaching. Who do you think is somebody that needs to make a trade? Steve, go ahead.
Dan Larkin needs to trade for a quarterback.
And what does that look like?
He needs to call Case.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have said Christian for this, but he needs to call Case, and I would talk to him. If Dan Larkin has the assets that he's got, I would call Case and be like, give me Lamar Jackson. Like, let's just make this an all-star lineup and put me over the top. Give me Lamar Jackson. Case can insert Herbert into his lineup. Give him a couple of picks. Who gives a shit about how many first-round picks you need in the next couple of years? Your team is built to win right now.
Case, what's it going to take to get Lamar Jackson?
I think one of the teams that should sell is Case. He has quarterback leverage. He has no pick in the next 2 drafts, so he's in a vulnerable spot to try to reinvigorate this roster around a couple of young players. Like, he traded 2 weeks ago for Garrett Wilson, who was hurt for a reason, to pair with Jefferson and one of the quarterbacks moving forward. He needs future assets to be able to do that. So I think Case should sell, and the 2 teams that desperately need a quarterback to try and win now, of which Dan should be public enemy number 1. You don't win. Believe it, Dan, I've only won 1. You don't win fantasy championships by trying to build for several years. You have a very small window, and when your team is this good, make sure you max it out. Get yourself somebody better than Dak Prescott. I have Lamar Jackson. And if I don't, I got Herbert, who's the 5th ranked fantasy point player right now in the league. I need to give away one of them.
Would you? So you kind of hinted that you would give up a first round pick for Herbert. So is the price for Lamar Jackson higher than that, or is it similar to that?
Yeah, I think Lamar would obviously be amongst the top 2 or 3 point getters if he wasn't hurt for half the year. So yeah, he's first game back. He threw for 4 touchdowns. Everybody.
I would actually pay a lot of money to see Christian and Lloyd go against each other in a bidding war for one of Casey's quarterbacks.
We can do it live on the pod if you want. We can do it live on the pod.
They're both not interested in it. It would be a battle of who's less interested in this deal.
Yeah, honestly, Christian and I are a little bit further apart right now on value, right? And again, he gave something super low. I gave something probably a little super high. I'm willing to come back. I don't think he's going to come close to the middle for me. Dan, I think, is operating out of this stubbornness where he's just going to build through the draft, and it's going to happen when it happens. He's going to win maybe 4 or 5 championships in a row. It's just not how it works with fantasy windows, man. This is your shot, man. You got to go for it.
He's definitely feeling more confident. He doesn't remember those 0-5 weeks. He's all of a sudden after you win 4 in a row, you start to get a little bit of confidence, I guess.
He's had a pretty good record since he came on the pod, though, Pete. So.
You know who's a bit of a sleeper that could slide into Case's DMs for a QB?
Oh,
Spates. After losing Daniels,
I reached out to Spates. He feels really good about Stafford. So
I think he should feel really good about Stafford. That's a good back. That's probably the best backup quarterback you could throw in.
He's in an outstanding spot. He has a running game, and he has Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua as his 2 wide receivers. He's in an awesome.
Yeah, and he's got years of experience. He's
and a really good
has proven season over season that he can score fantasy points. I would be fine with Stafford. So good for Spates for making that move.
Oh, there it is. Feeding the ducks, baby.
I found this on YouTube for you.
Amazing.
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Steve, thanks for jumping on, man.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right off the ice, come home.
Right off the ice. What do you think's up with Mike? You think he still got conjunctivitis?
Big dinner date tonight. He's cutting deals.
Who gets conjunctivitis when you're 40 years old?
Case, have you been doing curls, man?
No.
Well, yeah, let's see those again.
You see that again? Scratching the top of that head. Look at those pipes.
Who around here has conjunctivitis?
I just turned 40, so it's creatine and dad fuel protein. So supplementing myself.
How's the creatine working out? You feel better?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Nice and bulky.
Good. I haven't worked out yet, Pete, with it, so I can't tell you if there's actually muscle benefits. It's great. It's great in my coffee for cognitive benefits.
I haven't worked out with it. I'm just living day to day very well with it.
I just throw a scoop of powder down my mouth every morning.
Oh, that's good enough. We're gonna end right there.